The next filter that I'm going to show you is the fade in and fade out. I'll show you what this looks like at the beginning of the fade in. Now it just turns its head. Now we're going to take a filter on that. I'm going to fade that in 3 seconds. All right, let's try that and see how that works. See how that bar jumped across there? Because you can do this manually too. In Shotcut, all you got to do is just grab a hold of that little black pulsing circle there whenever it turns into a little pointy finger, and you can change that. You can make it longer or shorter, whatever you want to do. And that's the value that actually sticks. So if I put that in there now, it's 3.15 seconds. So let's see what that looks like. Yep. And you can do the same thing on a fade out. Again, you can go down and just reach for the corner of this. Oh, there we go. And we can make that. Now see, the time is showing down there at the bottom. So if I want to make this about 3 seconds there, 3.01, there we go. Now when I go to play this out, it will fade out over the last 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and gone. That's pretty cool. I think that's a very graceful transition, by the way. But in this case, I'll just take them all out. And we'll move on to the next one, which is actually called the glow. Pretty easy to show what this does. It just makes everything glow. Whoops, let's get back over here where we are. Okay, so it makes everything glow. Remember, as I told you before, you need to have your I-beam and your square selected. That's where your filter is going to be in effect. So that's where you got to keep your eye on the ball there for that, because this will change that a little bit, and that's about it. That's the glow. The next filter that I'm going to show you is the Hue Lightness and Saturation. This again is bars. They all make a big difference. As you can see, you can create some interesting color effects. Now obviously the lightness in that one. Saturation is also another one that you can really jack up. Get some outrageous colors on there like that. So that's what you do with this one. The next one is Inverting Colors. Pretty much what it says it's going to do. So you can see it just inverted all the colors in the image that I had there. Pretty automatic, and there's no real adjustment to it. It just does it. Key spell I'm not going into. Lens correction, I'm not sure how good or bad this is. It does kind of give you some interesting effects when you start playing with it like this. Stretches things out, messes with it a little bit. Kind of curls it around. See, there's different ways you can mess with this. It's just kind of whatever you want to play with. You can see what it does to your image. And of course everything can go back to the way it was, and you can see what it started with. So that's the lens correction. The next filter is levels. Levels is another one that just kind of messes with your colors. That's all I can tell you. Your gamma correction, exactly what these mean by input and output I'm not sure, but it can definitely change your colors. So you can see that just by messing with them, you can do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. So anyway, that one is levels. Mirror, get ready. Bingo, it's just a mirror image. That's all it does. Although I guess I could show you. With that image, let's try that again. All right, now next one I'll show you is the mirror image, which just basically goes like this. And then if you go ahead and play it, it just kind of plays as a mirror image of the file the way it was before. Now he'll turn his head to the right instead of to the left. One that I find very little use for is the next one I'll show you, called the Mosaic. Mainly because I just don't have much time for Mosaic, because that's all it does is just mess things up. See? And maybe if you put it on a still image, Mosaic on a screen just doesn't really seem to do much for me. For the next one I want to show you, let's go down here and take a look at this, the Crow video. Now I'm going to show you some of the old film. This one I found a rather interesting way to mess with it here. As you can see, basically it just puts big old smears all over your screen, and then as you play it, they're just kind of there. And it's pretty unattractive. But if you make the size of them really, really small, and you put a lot of them out there, you get an interesting little sparkle effect. And I think that's pretty cool. So from that standpoint, I kind of like that little effect, just because it's kind of unexpected, I guess maybe would be a good way to put it. It's like these little white bugs are flying through. You can get more and more of them. So I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, that's the filter called Old Film Dust. And then the next one is Old Film Grain. And again, I'll use this one here to show it to you. If I use this one at all, I might put a little noise in, but I rather doubt that I'd use much of this brightness, because it just knocks everything out real quick. But then whenever you play it, it just kind of puts a graininess on the film. That's all it does, this noise, where you could make it look kind of like it was shot very badly at low resolution or something like that. So let's see what's next. The projector was kind of cool. You can kind of make it look like a Super 8 video from back in the day. Change some of these things and then it just kind of gets worse and worse. Look like a very poorly shot video from back in the 80s. So anyway, that one's depends on what you find fun, I guess. Scratches, just that. It's no big deal. Put scratches on the screen like old film, and that's it right there. So that's scratches. And the next one I think is Technicolor. But this one definitely steps up your color. So you can just make it a heck of a lot more vivid. It just really makes the greens and blues pop. You know, if you pull it back down here, you can see you can really do some serious damage to it too. Purple grass and rather strangely colored water. Or you can go out here and really just overdo it and make it look like the Land of Oz, I guess. But anyway, that's your old film Technicolor. And that's enough for right now. We'll cover some more in a bit.